Hello again and welcome to another Warhammer 40k Imperial Guard Tactics video. Now before we start today's video I want to say a super huge thank you to Camille Crockmal, hope I am pronounced that correctly, for sending in some really cool pictures of his Imperial Guard army taking on some foul Xenos Tau scum. And I also want to say super huge thank you Camille for sending in these pictures, and super huge congratulations for purging the Xenos scum. If anyone else has any cool pictures they want to send in to me, please post them to my Facebook page. There'll be a link down in the description. Post some cool pictures there, and if I like them I will use them in my video. I absolutely love it when people send in some really cool Imperial Guard pictures, and I especially like action shots. So if anyone has got any cool action shots, please send them in. Today we're going to be doing a quick tip video. We're going to look at Ministorum priests. Now, there's always been a bit of competition within the Guard Codex between the Ministorum priests, and the Commissars. As each edition has come and gone, it's always seemed to alternate between the Commissars being the better option, then the priests being the better option. In the previous Codex, priests could be attached to big blobs of guardsmen, and they would allow those guardsmen to either they'd always get to reroll hits. You could do war hymns, which would allow you to either reroll your saves or reroll your wounds, or allow the priest to make a big smash attack. Yeah, now unfortunately, I would say Ministorum priests aren't as good as they used to be. However, they still have their uses. That's what we're going to talk about today. Now, it costs 35 points, and for that 35 point investment, you get a weapon. You basically get a guardsman with 4 wounds. His weapon skill 4+, ballistic skill 4+, strength 3, toughness 3, wounds 4, attacks 3, leadership 7. He's got a 6+ armor save, but we don't really care about 6+ armor save because he's got a Rosarius, which is a 4+ invulnerable save, which is really good. So with 4 wounds and a 4+ invuln, which is one of the best invulns you can get stock on an officer, on a character in the guard. He can tie things up well above his weight. You can throw this guy into a tactical marine squad, and they probably won't kill him. So he can tie up double his own points easily. Now, unfortunately, the guy only comes with the las pistol, frag, and crack grenades. Now, you can give him an auto gun, and you can give him a chainsaw. Now, let me explain. He doesn't replace any weapons. He's not swapping his las pistol for anything. He can just take those additional things for absolutely free. So there is no point in not giving him an auto gun or chainsaw. Always give it to him. Just assume he's got it. You should always have it. There you go. Now, as I say, he's got Rosarius, which is one of his special rules, gives him a 4+ invuln. He also has 2 other special rules. He has Zealot, which in previous editions was absolutely fantastic, and in 8th edition is completely shite. Zealot used to allow the priest and the unit he was attached to reroll hits. Now, unfortunately, it only, as you don't attach characters to squads anymore in 8th edition, it only affects the priest. And no one really cares that the priest gets to reroll failed hit rolls if the turn it's charged, made heroic intervention or war charge. No one cares. The priest has got a 4+ save, has got a 4+ weapon skill. No one cares. Okay, so it's a bit of a shame. It's a shame that you can't give the guy something like a power fist or something as well, or even just a power sword or power maul, because that would make his ability to reroll his hits really good, because he could, get 3 or 4 attacks with the power maul rerolling hits. That could do some damage. Sadly, it's not to be. His other rule, though, is absolutely fantastic, and is the only reason you would take him. Okay. It's called War Hymns. You can add 1 to the attack characteristic of all models in the Adeptus Ministorum infantry and Ashe Ministorum infantry units that are within 6 inches of a friendly Ministorum priest. Read that again. You can add 1 to the attack characteristics of all models in Adeptus Ministorum infantry and Ashe Ministorum infantry units that are within 6 inches of any friendly priest. All models in units that are within 6 inches of priest. Now read that carefully. Now I don't know if this has been FAQ'd or not. It's a little difficult to keep track of this thing, but when this first dropped, it was a very key definition. It said you can add 1 attack characteristic of all models Okay. All models in units that are within 6 inches of the friendly. So it's difficult how you interpret that. But how I believe it's interpreted is that it's not the unit which gets +1 attack, it's the model. So you can't conga line things back to the priest. Now, honestly, I've looked and I can't see anything that would say that was different. Okay? Now, I might be wrong. And hopefully, if anyone knows differently, put down in the comments. And then we'll have, as I like to do these videos, we'll have this repository of knowledge and we can clarify that. Because if I'm uncertain, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there which are uncertain as well, so if anyone has that knowledge, share it and we'll all learn from it. So check down the comments. Now, as I understand it, because it only affects models, that makes this guy not really very good for escorting big blobs of infantry anymore. Okay, it used to be you attach this guy to like 40 infantry and they just go nuts and they start attacking things and chopping them up. Not so much anymore. However, he does serve an extremely important purpose. He makes guard close combat. He is a must take for guard close combat units, and there are precisely 3 guard close combat units that we can take: Ogryns, Bulgryns, and Crusaders. Okay, now Ogryns and Bulgryns are much the same. Okay, and it goes with. So I'll just refer to them as Bulgryns from now on. It's absolutely vital if you're taking a big blob of Ogryns. If you're foot slogging your Ogryns, you're taking 10 of them, 10 Ogryns or Bulgryns, and you're slogging them across the field, you've got to take a priest with them. Okay, you just have to. Because you're going to need every single... Because that unit's going to draw a lot of attention. You're going to need every single attack you can get your hands on. And think about it. When you combine this rule with the Ogryn/Bulgryn special rule, Avalanche of Muscle, that means that those units are getting +2 attacks, which means you're getting 5 attacks per Bulgryn. Okay, that's 5 attacks hitting on 3s. Okay, that's incredible. You're getting from a squad of 10 Ogryns, 10 Bulgryns, you're getting 51 attacks, including the bonehead. Okay. There's very little in this game which can stand up to 50, especially Bulgryn, strength 7, AP -1, damage 2 attacks. It's absolutely vital for those units. Crusaders, also very important, okay? Because Crusaders, they come with power swords, and they can... The problem is, they come with power swords, but they're only strength 3. So you need every attack you can get your hands on, so that you've got more chance of getting those wounds through. Now, if you look at Crusaders, it combines well with their act of faith. Now, if you look at this, they have an act of faith called the Passion. The unit can, if it's in 1 inch of an enemy unit, immediately pile in and attack as if with a fight phase. So what Crusaders can do is in the movement phase, they can attack, and they can also attack in the fight phase. Now, if you read the Ministorum Priest's rule, it's add 1 to the attack characteristic. You're not adding 1 for the fight phase. You're adding it to the characteristic. So that Crusader, and those Crusaders get 3 attacks each time they fight, and they get to fight twice in 1 turn. That is 6 attacks per Crusader. 2 base plus 1 for the war hymn. That's 3. Getting to attack twice. That's 6 attacks per Crusader. 6 power sword attacks per Crusader. That is a big, big deal. Don't forget Crusaders are Storm Shields. Don't forget that. Don't forget their Storm Shields are they like they're weirdly, they're either free or they're really cheap. Now I'm looking in the Codex now. For what I understand, Crusaders themselves, they're like 11 points, and then you have the Power Sword, which is 4 points. That's 15 points a guy. I mean, maybe I'm not sure if the Storm Shields cost anything, but you're looking at a squad of 10 of these. You're talking about 150 points worth of Crusaders. 6 attacks each. That's 60 Power Sword attacks. And you know what the best thing is? Ministorum Priests. The reason why Crusaders are very popular in the Guard right now, and we don't want this to become a Crusader video, is because you can take the Priest and you can take 10 Crusaders, okay, and you can put them in a Valkyrie. And that is a little ball of death. because that thing can fly forward and they can start hacking things to pieces in the first turn. Okay, I'm going to build up some Crusaders because they're going to be good. Crusaders are going to be fantastic. Well, they already are really good, but with a priest, they're going to be even better. So, recap, quick tip video. Ministorum priests are really good, but they are only good when used with specific units which are designed for close combat. No point in giving them to blobs of guards anymore. I know there's this idea if you can take a priest and then you can take Strachan and you can combine that with Catachan infantry, but that's a lot of work for if you're just going to take some Crusaders or some Bulgarians and you slap a priest in there, keep it simple, keep it effective, keep it efficient. And it will massively improve the damage output of one of your squads. Okay? So, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much.